A month after the Parkland school shooting, students across the country are making a statement. Coast to coast, thousands of students walking out of school to protest gun violence, and almost every student at a Southwest Houston school participated. Stephanie Whitfield at the Emery Weiner School for the demonstration. Stephanie, middle and high schoolers organized this?
That's right. This was totally voluntary, so there were some students who did choose to stay in class, but the vast majority of the student body at Emery Weiner did walk out today, and their teachers stood with them. Most schools in Houston are quiet this week, closed for spring break. That's why students at the Emery Weiner School felt it was more important than ever for their actions to be seen and their voices heard.
It's really hard just because when I was in 7th grade, I organized the memorial for the Sandy Hook victims, and the fact that I have to do this again is really hard for me.
Students organized this walkout exactly a month after 17 people were shot and killed at a high school in Florida.
The legacy of Luke Hoyer will be continued and carried on.
They remembered each victim.
Helena Ramsey, a 17-year-old girl who is ready to go off to college next year.
The demonstration to demand new gun laws.
The adults in this country, especially those in Congress, in the federal government, have not done enough to fix this problem, and so it's on us.
Hundreds of middle and high schoolers at Emery Weiner walked out of class at 10 a.m. Administrators didn't stand in their way.
They asked so respectfully, they asked thoughtfully. It was all about, we think it's important, it sends a statement to the larger community about our values, about our voice, and I think that's important.
These teenagers felt it was their responsibility to be the voice for the kids who died a month ago today.
They were National Merit Scholars, they were swimmers, they were soccer players, they were students just like us, and it's really important for us to continue on in their memory.
Now, today's walkout is not where this movement ends. Those Houston students tell me they're really looking forward to voting when they turn 18 to help bring about change. Guys, back to you.
Yes, respectfully, thoughtfully. I think two important words from that story. Thank you, Stephanie.
Absolutely. Thousands of other students around the country also walked out today.
And Ron Trevino is here to show us the magnitude of these protests. Ron?
Jason, it was estimated that 185,000 people in 50 states were taking part in the school walkouts today. From Parkland, Florida to the nation's capital, students put down their books and walked out of their classrooms to protest gun violence and call for a change in the nation's gun laws. One of the biggest crowds was in Washington, D.C. Outside the White House, thousands of kids could be seen holding signs and chanting for change and for politicians to listen. They also turned their backs on the White House. Around the country, some protests were loud, others silent, some were large, some small. Here's what students and teachers in Chicago were saying.
Stop the violence and stop killing people, and put the guns down.
My heart breaks daily when the kids are very much aware of the various killings that are taking place, and to see how they are greatly affected by the recent shootings and killings at Parkland, and how they have a strong desire to see a change take place.
And another big walkout took place in Parkland. The crowd cheered as students walked out of the high school and onto the football field. After the walkout, a prayer service was held at a local park. A lot of kids had notes from their parents. As for school administrators, they had mixed reactions to the protests across the country. Some support for the movement, while others have threatened to discipline those who walked out. Jason and Grace.
Thank you, Ron.